Well, nothing on the incomings at Newcastle at the moment, but certainly there is some outgoings with Isaac Hayden, of course, and Ryan Fraser last week. So slowly players are starting to go out of the door. However, everybody's wondering, is anyone else coming in with the injury to Sven Botman? It has been confirmed this morning from numerous sources that he is out for a few weeks, not long term, but will miss a few games. So where does that leave us in defence? We've also got news about Elliot Anderson getting into the Scotland squad. Matt Targett is going nowhere. And could Harry Maguire actually be an option for Newcastle United through the loan system? Let's take a look at it all, guys. This is the Daily News. Hi everybody, I'm Paul and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel for today's Daily News. Before we get cracking, as usual, if you do enjoy today's show, please do hit that thumbs up button and keep us up there in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so. We're well on the way to 23,000 now, and with your help we can get there sooner rather than later. But don't forget to hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we upload or go live. Right, we'll start off with Sven Botman. Luke Edwards and a few others have reported this morning that it is going to be a few weeks out for the Dutchman. Very, very disappointing. Of course, he picked up that ankle injury against Liverpool on Sunday. It looked really nasty at the time. There was a stretch originally called for. Sven then got up and managed to, with the help of two physios, walk around the side of the pitch and back to the dressing room. Everybody thought the worst. However, it is looking like it's only going to be a few weeks without hopefully any setbacks or anything like that. But where does that leave us? Because we're looking at either Dan Burn going to centre-back against Brighton or Jamal Lascelles coming in. Now, given what's happened to Jamal Lascelles at the weekend with that nightclub incident, God only knows. So where his head is at, it may not be in the game. But that would leave, obviously, Matt Targett to come in at left-back. Eddie Howe has spoken about Lewis Hall and said that the reason he didn't feature at the weekend is because he's nowhere near match fit. He didn't feature in any pre-season games for Chelsea and is lacking match fitness. He's training well, doing well, but he's not match fit yet, so Eddie doesn't really want to throw him in at the deep end. But that worries me a little bit for the Brighton game, I have to say, with Dan Burn at centre-back. Not so much, but Matt Targett's form has been wayward, to say the least. I know he hasn't played a lot, but since he came in, he did really well, of course, in that loan spell. Then he got injured, but he was looking a little dodgy before the injury, if you can remember, and it's kind of set him back. But listen, it'll be a massive opportunity for Matt Targett because he knows now he faces stiff competition. And given the way that, it's gone for left back this season, we're looking for a performance, and hopefully Matt Targett can give us that. Sven Botman is going to be a huge miss. Even if he's 2 or 3 games he's missing, he will be massively missed because, he is our Rolls-Royce centre-back. He's absolutely fantastic footballer, and we love the man. He was gutted to make that little error, if you can call it an error, against Liverpool. I just think he was unfortunate with the bounce of the ball. However, he defended fantastically well, made that awesome challenge on Mo Salah, of course, when Salah was through in and hit the shot. Botman came out of nowhere. So he is going to be a huge miss. And you have to start worrying about pace now between the two centre-backs. Obviously, with Botman not there, if Shero is going to partner Dan Burn, do we worry about pace at the centre-back positioning? Or if Jamal Lascelles come in, yes, he's got a bit of pace, but he's not as good at bringing the ball out. So Eddie's got a headache ahead of the Brighton game because, given how the season has started, given how some of the fans are atrociously on Eddie's back already, he is going to be under pressure to get a result. Not from me, but, from certain aspects of the fan base, which is mental, I know. But we just have to wait and see how he goes, see how training goes this week and see who he decides to put in. I don't think it'll be anywhere near the same team as what it was against Liverpool. I just can't see it. But there you go. Botman is out for a few weeks. Let me know in the comments what you think. How big of a miss is Sven Botman going to be over the next couple of games? Now, obviously, straight on from the Sven Botman situation, it sort of goes around in your head, do we need another centre-back? We've said all through the summer, really. We would love to see another centre-back come in, just somebody who could maybe stand in when we do get injuries to Botman, etc. Now, with Sven Botman being out, does that alert Newcastle United and go into the transfer market, or is Eddie happy with what I've just said there about Dan Burn moving into centre-back? We have left-backs to cover that position, or does he bring the club captain back, Jamal Lascelles? However, it is reported in a few sources today that Newcastle United could be looking at a loan option for Harry Maguire. Now, I know Harry Maguire's took a lot of stick since he's been at Manchester United. There's probably many, many different reasons for that because, when he played for Leicester, Harry Maguire was a super centre-back. He did really well. That's why Man United paid the money they did for him. Do I think he's an option for Newcastle? I don't think so. I don't. I mean, some of the reports are saying that, the loan deal is there. Man United are open to letting him go on loan. Certainly not selling him at the moment, but he doesn't want to be sold. He's told Man United that he doesn't want to be sold. But a loan option might appeal to Harry Maguire, especially somewhere like Newcastle United. Now, Harry Maguire would obviously come in as a stand-in centre-back for, Shea or Botman, whoever it was that was unable to play. Is he good enough? He's had such a rough time at Manchester United. We don't know where Harry Maguire is, mentally. As I say, he's done all right for England. He's done all right for Leicester. His Man United career never really got going. He was under the cosh straight away. And of course, I think making him captain was a huge error on Man United's behalf. It put that extra weight on his shoulders, and instead of just concentrating on his defending, he was trying to be captain as well when Man United were going through a transitional period and struggling. So I know he's not going to, appeal to a lot of Newcastle United fans thinking, oh, Harry Maguire, why the hell do we want him? But he's not going to be a starter, is he? So is Harry Maguire an option to come in and do a job, intermittently? For injuries or play some cup games and things like that? Is that something that Newcastle United would look at? Because sources in the news, when I've flicked through this morning, there's a few people saying that a loan deal is something that Newcastle United could be interested in. I think, given there's only a couple of days left in the transfer window, it is just going to be a loan deal. We're not going to buy him, but is he an option rather than spending a fortune on another centre-back who really isn't going to get a lot of games if Botman and Shea are fit in the Premier League? Let me know what you think. I know Harry Maguire's had a rough time, but could he be an option as an alternate centre-back? Not a starting centre-back, but an alternate centre-back. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, with all the rigmarole going on about left-backs at the minute, Matt Targett has been approached by Fulham and I believe another club in the Premier League asking about availability for the left-back. But Eddie Howe has said no. Both approaches have been rejected and Matt Targett is expected to stay at Newcastle United this season. Now, I spoke about him, in the first part of the show there, talking about defenders and form-wise with Matt Targett. I think he's done very well since he came to the club. He was doing a grand job when he was on loan. He came in at left back and he was one of the reasons, of course, that helped us stay in the Premier League during that season and rise up to 11th, where we eventually finished. Now, Matt Targett then started to dip in form, but then he got injured. So the injury took a long time to recover from, and he hasn't really being given the opportunity to see how well he's playing. He's come on at different times and he's looked okay in some games. He's looked a bit dodgy in others. So for me, I don't know. I mean, obviously Eddie wants to keep him. We've got plenty cover at left back there now. Obviously Dan Burn's there. Lewis Hall, who I would think is going to be our first choice left back moving forward. Once he's match fit, he, for me, is undoubtedly our left back going forward. Despite his age, he's got good experience. He's a fabulous footballer, and that's why we've bought him. We're not going to spend that much money, well, he's a loan deal, I realise that, but next year with the obligation to buy, we're not going to spend that money on a player just for him to play intermittent games. This guy is ready to go as a first-team footballer. There's no doubt about that. The talent he showed at Chelsea last season was phenomenal. And I think, given when he gets that match fitness, he will be ready to go and he will be our left back. So Matt Targett must be thinking to himself, well, where does that leave me? Because obviously Dan Burns ahead of me in the pecking order at left back. Lewis Hall will then be ahead of me at left back. So it's a very strange one for me. The fullback situation is very weird, because I've just been reading this morning again about Javier Manquillo. There's lots of La Liga clubs showing a big interest in him, but Newcastle United don't want to release him, and I find that a little bit weird, because obviously Livramento's there now, and we've got obviously Kieran Trippier there. So do we really need 3 at right back? I don't know. Manquillo has been a fabulous servant to Newcastle United, and I think it would be fair if we did let him go, because he wants to continue his career. I don't think he wants to sit on the sidelines. He's never been involved. I know he's carried a knock through pre-season, but look, Manquillo for me, very, very agile and good right back. Is he where we need to be? Is he that kind of right back? I'm not too sure he is. Same as Dan Burn. That level needs to be improved, and I think we've improved it with Livramento and Hall. But Matt Targett he's just in limbo at the minute, isn't he? He just doesn't know where he is. So what would you do with Matt Targett if you were managing Newcastle United? Would you let him go? Maybe just on loan, or would you actually say, thanks very much, Matt, you did a great job when you came in. Unfortunately, the injuries have knocked you down the pecking order a bit, but we'll let you go and continue your career elsewhere. What would you do? And finally, some absolutely brilliant news for youngster Elliot Anderson. He was called up into the Scotland squad yesterday. Now, there's been a lot of to and froing to say, is he going to commit himself to England, or is he going to commit himself to Scotland through his grandparents? Now, you look at the England setup and you think, right, realistically, Elliot Anderson, he's not a full-time, he's not in the first 11 at Newcastle United. He's still on the subs bench. Whatever you think of that, whether you agree with that or disagree with that, that's the situation that Elliot Anderson is in at the minute. So Scotland, he has a better opportunity in international football. There's no doubt about it. And even if Elliot Anderson was in the first 11, playing brilliantly, do we really think that Southgate's going to go against the players that he loves at the moment in that England squad and put Elliot Anderson in? Not for me. I think Elliot's made the right decision, and the right decision because of who the England manager is at the minute and his stubbornness to pick players who are banging form. He goes with his favourites. We all know that. So Steve Clarke has picked up on that and said, right, let's bring him into the Scotland fold. And Elliot Anderson has said, yes, I'll commit myself to Scotland. And I think he'll get games for Scotland as well. Look how well he could integrate into that Scotland squad. It's a massive opportunity for Elliot Anderson, and I'm delighted for the kid because it furthers his career. It gets him into the international stage, so more experience for him as well. And this can only get better for Elliot Anderson because Scotland, whatever you think of the international setup there, they have done well recently and have an opportunity to qualify for more tournaments. They've got a good set of players now. So Elliot Anderson being integrated into that as well can only benefit Scotland as well as Elliot himself, getting all that international experience through and things like that. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity for him, and I think he's done the right thing because, like I say, who the England manager is, I don't think he'd get a sniff at the England squad for years to come, to be honest, because it doesn't matter who comes in as England manager. They always say, oh, we'll pick players in form, etc., but they don't. They always pick the favourites at the end of the day, and nothing is going to change on that. Steve Clarke, he's gambled, he's changed a few things with the Scotland side, and you can't say he's done a bad job. He's done very, very well as Scotland manager, and bringing somebody like Elliot into the fold as well will only bolster Scotland's squad, and fabulous experience for Elliot Anderson. So let me know, has he made the right decision? Because I think he has, and obviously he's now in the international squad for Scotland over the next international break, which is great news for him. But there you go, guys. That is the daily news. Let me know, as usual, what you think of all the news in the comments below. I do read them all. I'll reply to as many as I can, but you'll know I've read it because I'll put a heart on there to say that I have read the comment. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the beginning, if you have enjoyed the show, please do give it the thumbs up. It is very important that we stay up there in the YouTube algorithm results so that people like yourselves can find the channel and hopefully subscribe in the future. If you are new and like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Help us on the way to 23,000. Lots of things coming up on the channel. Tonight we've got another transfer show at 7 o'clock. If you're watching this on the Tuesday, it'll be the last transfer show of this window to see who we might or might not bring in Well, we'll see what Stato and Billy have to say as well, if they think we'll make a move. But hit the notification bell as well. That'll let you know when we upload any videos or we go live. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button just below. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. And we'll see you on the live show tonight if you're watching on the Tuesday. Have a fabulous day. Take care.